My daughter despised me. A failed mechanic like my dad doesn't have the money or intelligence to do all this. Now my wife wants me to apologize to my daughter or she'll leave me. Update 1. Ever since I started dating Lisa, I knew I was not just getting into a relationship, but I was also diving headfirst into the life of her teenage daughter Madison, who was then just 12 years old. I understood it from the beginning, and I am not saying it as a complaint. In fact, at the beginning I thought it could be something nice. A chance to have a family even if it was patched together. After so many years dedicated solely to the workshop, to changing transmissions and working weekends while I watched my friends get married, have children and get divorced again, Lisa was like a breath of fresh air in the midst of my greasy and noisy routine. And although the relationship was not perfect, because it never was, I clung to her like someone who believes they can still fix something that is already broken from the factory. And Madison, well, Madison was always a tough nut to crack. From the first day we met, she made it clear that she did not want a new dad. That she had no intention of saying I love you, much less greeting me with smiles. And I, trying not to mess it up from the beginning, limited myself to respecting her space, not forcing things, staying in a corner waiting for her to one day give me even the chance to show that I was not there to screw up anyone's life. It did not happen. It never happened. No matter how hard I tried, no matter how much I paid for dinners, outings, clothes, or simply offered to take her to school when her mother could not, she always looked at me with the same cold contempt with which one observes a stranger in the supermarket line. Lisa said it was a phase, that adolescents had her rebellious, that later she would understand everything I did for them. She repeated it to me with such insistence that for a time I came to believe that maybe it was true, that it was just a matter of waiting, that at some point Madison would stop seeing me as an obstacle between her and her mom, and that maybe we could even have something like a civilized relationship. But time passed, and the only thing that got bigger was her ego. Every birthday was more expensive, every gift more demanding, and every comment more hurtful. And Lisa, instead of stopping her, simply justified her, as if the poor girl were fighting an internal war that no other creature on earth could understand. The truth is that Madison was not going through any deep existential crisis. What she had was absolute power in that house, and she knew it. She knew that her mother would do anything to please her. She knew that I, out of affection or fear of conflict, continued to pay for things without receiving even a measly thank you. And she knew that the world, or at least our world, revolved around her. When the idea of throwing her a big party for her 17th birthday came up, I honestly thought it was the perfect opportunity to fix something. Lisa told me, almost crying, that it was important to her, that Madison was finishing school with good grades, which I must admit was true, and that she deserved a celebration to match. I, who came from a family where birthdays were celebrated with frozen pizza and a beer among cousins, did not really understand why someone needed a hall with a live DJ, a welcome tent, 2 types of cake, and a dress that cost what I earn in a week. But for the love of Lisa, and because I still clung to the idea that maybe Madison would see me with different eyes after all that, I said yes. But I set one condition: no one was to know how much money I was putting in. No forced thank yous or speeches. I just wanted the party to happen and for her to be happy, to enjoy it without knowing that the one who had covered more than 80% of the budget was this same guy she despised for no reason. Lisa accepted, more out of convenience than respect, but it did not matter. I threw myself into the organization. I contacted the sound provider because he was a client of the workshop. I got the owner of the hall to give me a discount for maintaining his fleet. I talked to the photographer and the caterer, and I personally took care of picking up the dress from the place where they had it altered. I felt like the most efficient person in the world. A man with initiative, yes, but still a man. On the day of the party, I left the workshop smelling of grease with my